The United States hasn't made itself this strategically weak in over a decade. It doesn't matter if we have the best military, the best troops, even the best generals, if their top leadership is incompetent. And China, Russia, Iran knows this. There is a great quote, "I fear less an army of lions led by a sheep than an army of sheep led by a lion." And the fact that the Secretary of Defense, Pete Hegseth, the Director of National Security, Tulsi Gabbard, and the head of the CIA all shared a not private chat on a not secure network about such sensitive operations and material is devastating. Not irreparable, but harmful. There is a constant war of penetration that the United States wages against the world and the rest of the world wages against us, especially Russia, China, and Iran. There were times where America was more sensitive to data breaches, and Russia, China, and Iran had no clue. But this open discussion and carelessness of information showed our enemies how easy we are to exploit, and we are going to be suffering for this for years. Another great quote from a film called Miller's Crossing, and it's about a bunch of gangs. Well, there's a gang leader who's being spoken to with one of his advisors, and the advisor said, "You don't run the town because you're powerful enough to do it. You can only run it because people think you are. Once people stop thinking it, you stop running it." Now, there are people with military and intel experience who disagree with the severity of this, like the intel guy. And he was in the Marines for 20 years. He doesn't believe that the severity of this is as egregious as I do, but we both agree that this is a huge mistake, and our leaders should be stepping down. Not all of them, but a few key ones. Michael Waltz, head of the CIA, is the one who organized and started this chat. He's also the genius who somehow, mistakenly, invited the reporter from The Atlantic to watch all this. Pete Hegseth has clearly shown that he does not have the caution, the expertise, and the professionalism to properly manage the highest ranking office in defense. He was a major in the Army, but apparently that level of leadership did not teach him enough about the proper protocol for security. I have a recommendation. Chad Scott is also a major in the United States Army. He served his country honorably. He was also a NATO advisor. Why don't we just replace that fool Hegseth with Chad Scott? And of course, TG, who is Tulsi Gabbard. Now, I know a lot of people like to say that Tulsi Gabbard is just awesome because she was a lieutenant colonel in the Army. And that intel guy gave me a bit of hope that maybe she has some integrity when we spoke for an hour and a half. If you want to see it, it's going to be on YouTube tomorrow. Because of the intel guy, that I may have a shred of respect left for Tulsi Gabbard, but I have to say this. Now, Tulsi Gabbard may be devoted to the cause of making sure that soldiers don't die and that they come home or don't even get sent to these countries in the first place. That's great. But her display in Congress, where she admitted no wrongdoing and wouldn't confirm basic details of the discussion she was clearly a part of, it's kind of a red flag, but maybe she did it out of loyalty towards something. But loyalty is a word you use towards dogs, and I am fine having a loyal dog, but not a stupid loyal dog. A stupid loyal dog doesn't get any responsibility. All I want a stupid loyal dog to do is not poop in the house. And Tulsi helped take a big crap all over everybody's pillows. But back to how much this hurt the United States. How many more chats like this are there that we just don't know about? There are always stories about China infiltrating very key, crucial sectors in the United States, and I would not be surprised if through this Sector Act, China was able to hack into some levels of our defense. Even people like Joe Kent, who's just a political nominee, and the Secretary of the Treasury is in this chat. Why him? Now, it's not like America is going to lose its strategic dominance overnight, and we can regain a lot of what was lost and make sure whatever could be lost stays ours. But the only way for that to happen is for heads to roll. Mass resignations. The Director of National Security, the head of the CIA, and the Secretary of Defense have clearly shown that they are not capable of holding these types of positions and keeping America safe. And every bit of this chat needs to be exposed for everyone to view, and any other further data breaches need to be brought to the public for us to see and pressure our congressmen, pressure every politician to see that more heads roll because of this incompetence. I am the Geo Husar, and Senator Budd was right to call each of these people spies. Even if they aren't, they may as well be at this point because of how much they helped our enemies. God bless America. We can get out of this, and thanks for watching.